In Orangeburg County now, where residents along the Edisto still in disbelief about all the rain they saw Wednesday night into early yesterday morning. More than a foot of rain in some areas, causing some widespread damage there. Our Cassidy Byer is live in one neighborhood impacted by the high water. Cassidy, what are residents there telling you?
Yeah, well, JR, it didn't take me long before I stumbled upon a couple gentlemen earlier this morning telling me they've weathered many storms, but this one's different. After stumbling upon them while they were overlooking one of their backyards, one of the gentlemen's backyards, it was clear and very evident that flooding had occurred.
That's a shame. And of course, there's a nice cook shed. You can see that over there. They had gatherings and barbecues and things like that. It was a nice place to get together, a lot of chairs to sit around, and usually it's a very shady place.
If you were to ask Orangeburg resident Eddie Reed, who was accompanied by his neighbor Chuck Mullican, what he was planning to do this time last week, he would have told you yard work. That was before Orangeburg saw over a foot of rain in the span of one day.
I said, my gosh, we've had about 5.5 or 6 inches of rain. And later I found out we had 14 inches of rain.
Fortunately for Reed, his home sits on high ground, but the same can't be said for his neighbor Michelle. She wasn't home to see it for herself as water levels rapidly increased.
When the water started rising, I called her and told her, look, Michelle, we had a lot of rain and the river's really rising. In fact, now the vehicle that you have parked behind the gate, the water's up to the rear tires.
Since the flooding took place 2 days ago, Reed says dozens of county residents have visited the dead end where he lives to get a glimpse of the devastation.
And a lot of people have been by to look at it. They've never seen the river this high either.
One of those visitors, lifelong Orangeburg resident Mr. Williams.
We have water, but we don't ever have it this bad. You know, we could stand 6 inches of water and still it didn't look like this.
Moments later, Williams saw something he'd never seen before in Orangeburg, a neighbor canoeing in their yard.
It's just unreal. And that guy down there now, he's paddling around his place down there with his trucks and vehicles is underwater.
For those who live near the Edisto River, Reed believes there's no solution to prevent flooding.
I don't think it's going to be possible to prevent flooding in those areas.
Now, Reed did tell me his neighbor Michelle is doing okay and she's staying with local neighbors and family nearby. But in the meantime, him along with the other neighbors are patiently having to wait for this flooding and excess water to subside before accurately assessing any property damage. Reporting live, Cassidy Byer, News 19 WLTX. JR.
Cassidy, thank you. One of the